Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott Selections here for Tuesday, October 15th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, we picked up a loss with the Golden State Warriors -2 in their preseason matchup against the Los Angeles Lakers. We got it at -2 and ended up closing at -4, so we got a lot of value on that. However, that did not matter. The Lakers rested pretty much everybody, and the Warriors ended up using Steph Curry. But unfortunately, Curry played terribly as he ended up shooting 6 for 17 or so. Warriors were getting killed, almost came back in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, we got it at -2, closed at -4. We got value on it, just simply didn't work out. But we'll stay away from NBA preseason from now on. We just thought that we should give that a shot based on the fact we knew the line would end up going up as it did, but it simply didn't matter. Now, other than that, though, in terms of today's card on Tuesday, I'll give it my leans on those. In terms of betting, though, not really a fan of anything in particular on today's card. However, I don't want to leave all of you empty-handed. I know that on Wednesday I usually give a look-ahead line for one of the college football matchups on Saturday, but I decided I was just going to do that now, as there's one game that has a key number that the line is currently at, and I want to get to it before the line changes past that key number. So without further ado, we're going to dive right in, and we're going to be looking at a matchup between Air Force and Hawaii, which is the late game on Saturday, which should be taking place at roughly 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And in terms of this game, we actually like the road favorite here in the Air Force Falcons, which is available at -3 at DraftKings at -110. Now, the main reason why we like this game, I know that last week we ended up going against Air Force. They really impressed me against Fresno State. They ran the ball. Their defense pitched a shutout in the second half. They were great. On the other hand, Hawaii, I know they were against a ranked Boise State team, but they gave up 59 points, and Boise State ran the ball down their throats. Boise State had 39 carries for 203 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, which is even more important considering the fact that Boise State's starting quarterback got injured in the middle of the first half. Hawaii has been terrible against the run so far this season, as they are giving up 5.2 yards per carry, which is 107th out of 130 teams in the FBS. And that's very important to mention because of the fact that Air Force runs a triple option, and Hawaii only has 1 week to prepare for it, and I expect Hawaii to struggle dramatically trying to stop Air Force's rushing attack. Air Force, in particular, has the 6th most rushing yards in the nation with 272.8 rushing yards. I think they'll dominate on the ground once again. Hawaii just can't stop a nosebleed on the ground. I know Hawaii is great through the air on offense, but I really don't see how Air Force is supposed to punt on any drives based on just how fluid the offense looked against the Fresno State team coming off a bye. I think Air Force will continue to roll. I think this line is currently, it was at 2.5. It's up to 3. I think it will close somewhere in the realm of 3.5 to 4, but I really want that 3. So that's why I'm making the video so early. Plus, it is also worth mentioning that even though Hawaii loves to go up tempo, that Air Force, just based on the style of play that they have, they love to drain the entire clock, and they will look to move the chains, keep the ball in their possession, and try to keep Hawaii's offense off the field, which I think should pay dividends on Saturday. As I pull up I'm just going to pull up really quickly the average time of possession. Air Force right now is 5th in the nation in time of possession. They control the ball for roughly 34.36 minutes, or minutes and seconds on the clock. Hawaii loves to play up tempo. I get that, but I think at the end of the day, Air Force is going to run the ball at will. I don't think Hawaii is going to stop them. They might stop them once, maybe a fumble or so, but Hawaii is one of the worst rush defenses, if not the worst rush defense in the entire conference, and Air Force has looked fantastic with Hammond at quarterback, and I think that will continue in this one. I know Hawaii scored 37 points against Boise State. 16 of those points came in garbage time when they were already down 30-something points in the fourth quarter, so I'm not going to read much into it. Cole McDonald also has a very big issue with regard to turning the ball over, as he has thrown a ton of interceptions. He's thrown 9 interceptions this year, which is an issue considering the fact that Air Force's defense, in my opinion, is very underrated. I think Air Force can force some turnovers, and I think that Air Force should be able to score at will with its triple option attack that Hawaii will only have 1 week to prepare for. So for that reason, the play of the day for Tuesday, October 15th will be on Air Force -3, which is available at -110 on DraftKings. Now, before we end today's video, I will give out some leans for today's card, and I will start out with baseball, as you have two matchups. You have the Yankee game, which is in about half an hour, and you have the Cardinals Nationals game, which is in about 4.5 hours. Disclaimer: I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a big Yankees fan. Do I feel confident about the Yankees winning today? Not really. I like to believe I'm realistic. I hope I'm wrong. I have a feeling Cole's going to pitch well, and Severino has had a very limited sample size so far this season after coming back from injury. Yes, he gave up no runs against the Twins, but he did have the bases loaded in the second inning. He didn't look that sharp, but at the end of the day, I think this game will be very close. I think that the Yankees will have a quick trigger when it comes to pulling Severino if needed, if he gets into trouble early. Cole, I think he's a phenomenal pitcher, but he's only pitched at home so far in the postseason, as he had 2 starts against Tampa at home, and then he had 1 start against the Yankees. No, sorry, he didn't pitch against the Yankees. He had 2 starts at home against Tampa, so I question how he will perform in such a hostile environment in Yankee Stadium. I think he'll pitch okay. If I had to lean anywhere, I guess I would lean to the over 7, as 7 is available in some of the offshore markets. Just based on the fact that I don't really trust Severino here. I think that even though Cole's a great pitcher, the short porch could be an issue for some potential home runs. And I think both bullpens are – I know they had a day off yesterday, but I'm not a big fan of both bullpens. The Yankees' bullpens look pretty solid overall, but overall I'm just not – I don't really trust either of their bullpens against such a potent lineup. And I think in Yankee Stadium you could see some potential fireworks here. So I would lean to the over 7 as well as the Astros. Moving on, you have the Cardinals versus the Nationals. I was very close to giving this out as a play of the day, but there's actually a player prop that I like on DraftKings, which has it just has a lot of value. In terms of the no-hit prop, which is available on DraftKings, you have one available for Colton Wong under half a hit, which is at plus 137. I think that value is tremendous. He's 0 for 10 so far in this series, and he is also 0 for 5 in his career against Corbin. Plus, he's also the 8 hitter, so he could intentionally get walked to pitch to the pitcher who's batting 9th right behind him. I think plus 137 is way too high of an odds. I think it should be roughly plus 115. I think if you have DraftKings, you should look into that, as I think there is value on it. In terms of the game itself, the Nationals are minus 160, and the total's over under 7.5. Do I have any real thoughts in this game? No, not really. I don't want to be laying minus 160 with the Nationals. And the Cardinals have looked absolutely anemic on offense. So I have no thoughts on that game. But in terms of the actual props, I would have to lean to Colton Wong under half a hit, which is available at plus 137 on DraftKings for some very nice value. Other than that, though, looking at the rest of the betting card, I did have some thoughts about some hockey, but I decided not to give it out. I like Toronto scoring first and winning the game, which is available at minus 110. I like Toronto on the team total over. I think Toronto minus 1.5 also makes sense. Minnesota's on the second leg of a back-to-back, and Dubnyk has been terrible in net. Frederick Anderson's pretty solid, but Toronto's actually lost each of its last 3 home games. I think they'll come out focused, and I think Toronto should put up at least 4 to 5 goals in this game, so I would lean to Toronto pretty heavily. Moving on, looking at the rest of the hockey card, what do I like? I would lean to the under 6 in the Coyotes and the Winnipeg Jets game. I know Winnipeg's defense has struggled lately, but Hellebuyck's been very solid in net, and Darcy Kempfer has also been very solid in net for Arizona. I think this game will be relatively low scoring. I think it should end somewhere in the realm of 3-2, so I will lean to the under in that one. Other than that, though, not that many other thoughts. But in terms of the play of the day, we are going to be looking ahead for the Saturday line. We'll be taking Air Force minus 3, which is available on DraftKings at minus 110. Other than that, though, before we conclude today's video, quick reminder of our sponsor, PointsBet, Only Sportsbook in New Jersey. A couple of great deals for you. Up to 2 risk-free bets up to $1,000. If you end up betting on any sports and end up losing, you simply get your money back, which is a great promotion that I wish more sportsbooks would use. Other than that, though, that's going to do it for this installment of Scott Selections here for Tuesday, October 15th. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.